Peace. This is Farika Law. I'd like to say peace to the gods. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum to everybody that may tune in and everybody that watches. The topic that I like to discuss is a brief topic. It's a topic that I have been monitoring very closely amongst us as black men and our interactions with black women and just women in general. Whether I be like on a plantation, whether I be out in the world, uh, social media, mainly social media, because that tells me a lot about the mindset of the men that converse with the women online. And the topic is basically from the group Rule Over Her. Rule number 3, do not argue with her. Now, I say this because in light of the recent passing of Kevin Samuels, a lot of our brothers, even rulers, have taken the liberty to continue to argue, go back and forth with women online about the same topics that have been discussed. If you do your research and do a little bit of history check, you will see that these are the same topics that have been talked about on panels, within books, in movies, in college campuses, online, offline. These same topics have been discussed between black men and black women. And I have a remedy for us as black men to get away from this arguing or going back and forth with women. Now, Kevin Samuels passed away a month ago, and he pretty much didn't speak on anything new. He didn't speak on anything new. What he did bring to light was he actually gave the delusion of black women a shining light. He put a microscope on it. He gave them a platform. He allowed them to come on his show and basically show the world, show black men that all the simping that you have been doing, all the DMing, all the cuckoldry, all the things that you have participated in, though you made a fool of yourself. Because now you was able to see, like, damn, these women are really delusional. And they put up such a facade, they put up such a facade. Actually, society has helped them put up this facade that they have put up. They have put this facade up, and this has been very successful as and been weaponized against black men. And black men have fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Like I said, Kevin Samuels didn't say anything he didn't say anything new that we haven't already heard, that we don't already know. The problem is, even amongst some of the rulers, we took his content and started to use it as a weapon against black women or just women in general. And that was not the purpose of uh, his message. At least I don't think so. I don't think that was the purpose of his message. The purpose of his message was for you to take the information, as with any information that was given to us by Robert Tomasi, Patrice O'Neal, Corey Holcomb, Tariq Nasheed, Tommy Sotomayor, Sister Sherazade Ali. Um, that information was pretty much taken. You were supposed to take the information, understand what was being said, and move on. Not to get online and go back and forth with women. Use his content to make, to try to shame women or make fools out of them. That's not what this information is for. None of this information is for you to make mockery of black women. Yeah, they are responsible for the decisions they have made, and continue to make. But that doesn't give us a right as black men to go online and further debase them and put them in a position where as though they are made fools of. Trust me, the actions that they have participated in within their relationship with their husbands, with their baby fathers, with their boyfriends, significant others, that is enough shame within their conscience. That is terrible enough. So it doesn't need any addition from us to sit up there and go back and forth with them or use the content that was introduced by Kevin Samuels or any of the above mentioned to further shame them and act and bring them before the world and like further shame them. So my topic is, do not argue with women. It's kind of hard because, and the reason why I say that, because I fall victim to this sometimes. Black women especially, women present themselves as someone that is articulate, that is intelligent, that is smart. So we kind of get suckered into thinking that they understand logic and reasoning, and they really don't. They think they understand rationale and intelligence. That's what we think that. So that's why this is what suckers us into arguing with them and getting our emotions, involved and stressing out and becoming resentful and becoming angry. So we and the fatal mistake we make is we don't understand that there is nothing there is no amount of information that will be presented to the present class of black women to make them say, hey, these guys are right. That'll never happen. I don't care what you present them with. You can present them with other women telling the truth about their actions and relationships and what they do and how they cheat and how they function in relationships. That doesn't matter. They will never sit up there and say, you know what, you're right. I better get my act together and stop playing around and, find myself a suitable mate. That'll never happen. The only thing that will get black women to wake up and fall up under the banner of black men is the system that has been put in place to protect them and give them the batteries in their back to rebel against family, to rebel against their husbands, rebel against their boyfriends. That has to be broken completely, because that's the system that relies on that they rely on, and that is the system that they have used as a weapon against black men. That's they have used the system, And that system has to be broken into pieces in order for them to, because remember, women deal with security. So they need a foundation or something to stand on in order to do the things that they do. That is their security. This system that is in place. It's actually a grafting system for those of us who understand Yakub and his graftation process. It's a grafting system. They have been grafted. They have been grafted into androids, Amazons. They are not the women. Even they're not even the women that came with us when we were free from slavery. They are a total new make and model that have been grafted by the enemy. More say we in the Nation of Islam, we call them the enemy, the 10%. I more so say that they are called Jews, but they are not Jews. They that's just a shield to cover their dirty religion. That's all that is. But that system of that they have put in place has to be broken in order for them to more so not be acceptable or accept what it is we have to say or what we have to offer. And us as black men have to see it for what it is and let them go ahead and fall with the system, and don't allow them to come running back once the system is broken. No, because they're going to attract mud in, and and by them, that may sound harsh. But it's not harsh. I guarantee you, it's not harsh, because what's going to happen is they're going to attract mud in to your kingdom. They're going to attract mud into your house and what you got going on. And the reason why they're there, let's keep it real. I'm gonna cut straight to the chase and let you know how and let you understand how you're dealing in war. Not saying we're at war with our women, with black women, but we have to understand they are not our women. They have been grafted and shaped and molded by the devil. Period. And that's all right. We just have to understand what they are and understand that when they try to come running into our kingdoms and the things that we have set up, once that system is broken, what we have to understand is they are only coming there because that system is broken and that they can no longer rely on that system. The only reason why they will be in your kingdom or be accepted into your circumstances of relationships or whatever protocol you have going on, such as polygamy, is because the system that have been given to them, that they have been running on auto tune, they've been running on auto with that system. That system is broken, so now they need discovery and go somewhere else. And they're going to come running your way. And you, being a simp that you is, you're going to think it's a good thing. No, it's not a good thing. All right? It's not a good thing. Yeah, it's not a good thing. They're only there if... Give you a perfect example. When COVID came about and the world was shut down and a lot of women were caught out there by themselves with no man, with no one to cover over them, they were pretty much reaching out and showing a softer side of themselves, because they were in a predicament where as though they didn't really have any protection. Fast forward to 2022, the restrictions have been lifted. Things are back to normal, and it's back to fuck them. It's back to that. And that's why I'm trying to get you to understand that you do not want to allow them to come back into you do not want them to come into your kingdom tracking that grafted teaching that they have been adhering to for the past 50, 60 years. You have to understand that they're only there. They're only going to be there trying to, you know, be under your rulership because of that system is no longer reliable, and you cannot accept them in. You gave them many opportunities to fall up under the banner and get yourselves together and fall up under your leadership and your control. They didn't do it. But what they're relying on is your good, simpish heart. Like I said, you're gonna think it's a good thing that you're gonna be like, oh, they finally waking up. No, they not. They have become just like the 10%, who they worship and adorn and follow. And if we know the 10% only sheds their skin, and they maneuver with the times, and when they adjust and navigate and know the terrain, they're back to who they always was. So this is why you should not argue with women. This is why you should not argue with women, because the system has to be broken. It has to be shattered into pieces. Then they will be like, oh, I need to go here. I need to go over here and listen to what these brothers are talking about. Don't allow them to come. And I know some of y'all are going to not heed the message that I'm talking about, because a lot of y'all are, y'all purple pillars. You took the red pill, but you're still mixing the blue philosophy with the red. So that makes you a purple pill. You want to get on TV all day, make a podcast, and talk about what women are not doing. We don't care about what they're not doing. First of all, why are you concerned about if these women are soul and you don't even acknowledge their existence? You despise them. Why are you wasting your time talking about them on the internet? Why? Especially if you're not interested in them as taking them on as a wife or a girlfriend. I could see if you were wanted to take them on as a girlfriend or a wife, that would warrant, your attention, you directing your attention towards them. But when you don't have any use for them, then why are you sitting up here, going back and forth online, creating new podcasts, trying to be the next Kevin Samuels? The reign is over. Kevin Samuels was their last messenger, and I didn't see Kevin Samuels doing what he was doing a long time anyway. I didn't know he was going to pass away, but I didn't see him going 3-4 years of having that platform. I seen him giving it, a good two years and then gracefully buying out because it's unproductive. You don't know what you're dealing with. And if you don't know what, now the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad stated that there were 3 sciences that the science of mating. The enemy has been able to not only withhold the information and keep the information in science of mating away from us, but he's also been able to weaponize it and use his prime his prime protege to frustrate any advances that we will make to bring in the gods that will come and help get rid of this enemy or make significant changes in our future history. They have used the black woman in that in by and when I say that they have used her because they have promoted promiscuity, they have promoted independence to her, they have put batteries in her back, and she have taken that philosophy hook, line, and sinker. Meanwhile, if you study the enemy and his culture, his women are not doing that. You see the game? I said this a couple when I said this a couple weeks ago. I think it was on Facebook or whatever. I said I want to ask one question. I'm gonna ask a few questions. I'm gonna ask numerous questions. Where is the Chinese Kevin Samuels? Where's the Asian Kevin Samuels? Where's the Arab Kevin Samuels? Where's the Latino Kevin Samuels? Where's the Caucasian Kevin Samuels? It don't exist. You know why? Because they don't have, their women are not being utilized in a way that destroys their culture and their family. We are public enemy number one. Our women have been weaponized and utilized to destroy any attempts that we would make to breed and bring and fix what 379 years of chattel slavery have done, which was turn us in outside in and inside out. The devil knows that you have to have a good mating strategy along with what the messenger said, the science of business and the science of modern warfare, to get away and get loose from what has been implemented by the powers that be, the dominant society, the so-called dominant society. They're not dominant to me, but whatever. That's it. That's the game. Where's the Chinese Kevin Samuels at? Because their women do not adhere to that philosophy. It is only black women that adhere to this independent, rebellious philosophy. I don't need a man. I don't want a man. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get used up. I'm going to be promiscuous. I'm going to have multiple baby daddies. I'm going to do all this. And then one of you simps is still going to come mop this up. Because society teaches that. Society has played that game on us, and they know that we're suckers for that. It's a good thing to take care of single moms and go scouting out for women that have been used up by the block. Some of y'all knew some of these chicks and how innocent they was before they went to college or before they got certain careers, and you watched them get trains ran on them and everything, and yet and still something in you still want to lay with her, you still want to sleep with her. That's a genetic deficiency coming from the previous generation who didn't have the information on the science of mating. The science of mating. They didn't have that information, and it shows because a lot of us have genetic proclivities that disqualifies us from implementing these superior mating strategies. These superior mating strategies that we would love. First of all, we don't know anything about, but those of us that do are trying to implement. That's the bottom line. And we still up here wasting time going back and forth with them. Do not argue with women. Before I get on that topic, I just want to break down the structure of what's being played on that has been played on a black man. And if you notice, certain people that started to point at it and understand it, they were swarmed on by these powers that be. The first one is the most important one is the 10%, who we call Jews or Jewish. They call themselves that, but that's not what they are. And the reason why I say them is because they have the most influence and power in not only the United States, but the world. They have a lot of power and influence. They have a lot of pull. They are the number one. The number two is a product of number one. It was made by number one. But the thing about number two is that it wasn't even in the numerical bracket. What used to be number two was the black woman. But her nature doesn't go as far. It doesn't go as demonic as number one. So she has to be replaced. And one thing about the enemy, he knows that he actually knows us better than we know ourselves. He knows our nature only goes but so far. We only will be when we are not our righteous selves. Our nature only goes but so far when it comes to evil. We'll go along with certain things, but certain things will be done, and we'll be like, "Oh, no, I'm not with that." He knows that, so that therefore he's always looking for those that are in complete oblivion, complete submission to what he has going on. So that's what brings me to number two. Number two is the LGBTQC community. They are a perfect concoction. They are a perfect arm of number one. They all work in unison, but however, number two doesn't really understand its origins in number one. They don't understand. For those of us who have read the what is that? The Hadith for the Jewish religion. I forget the book, the name of the book. It's right. I know it is not the Torah. It's something else. The Sanhedrin use it, but a lot of these things are added. I call it a Hadith because it came after the compiling of the Torah. And it is totally contradictory to what the Torah has. That's why I say it's Hadith. It's Hadith. It's not in accordance with what the Most High gave to Moses in the Torah, but it has some of the most degenerate, debauchery practices that you can imagine, and it will help you understand the creations of these people. They follow this book. They don't follow the Torah. They follow this book because this book deals with Allah, how it was constructed. So that's what they do with. The doctrine that's in there fits perfectly with number two, which is the LGBTQ community. They are, as Francis Cross Wilson said, when the enemy sees a black man in high heels and cross-dressing, that is a clear sign to him that what he's saying is that this man is he feels comfortable. The enemy feels comfortable because he's saying to himself, "Oh, he'll never come for my kingdom." He'll never come for the throne. So that's why the black woman had to be replaced. Now she is number 3. The organization, the graftation of the black woman is number 3 because she was given the feminist movement. And the reason why I tied into number 1 is because they have the power and influence. It started with the civil rights movement, whereas though it kind of it allows them to maneuver in certain hierarchies of government and change certain statutes and laws and relax certain things. The Quran says the devil makes evil fair seeming. It's fair seeming, meaning you're not going to be like, oh no, I don't get down with that. You'll be accepting to that. And who's more accepting of the LGBTQC community but the black woman? First thing you hear her say, oh, don't judge them. Only God can judge them. That's not their fault that they are practicing that lifestyle. Why? She says that because she's in league with them. Not only she's in league with them, but she also don't want you judging her and her promiscuous activities amongst herself, amongst her girlfriends and the things that she does. So that's why she'll have the alphabet community as friends. She'll have them as friends because they're all in line and in league with each other. However, she don't know that the LGBTQ community is copying her to pretty much push her completely away from the spectrum. Yeah, right. Yeah, said something about the connection. What she don't understand that is that they are copying her moves, her mannerisms, and everything. And then once they have no need of her, then she will be pushed completely away from that structure. But she has to be used as of now because of how vital she is, how vital she has been. Understand, when I say black woman, I'm not. Somebody will see this and be like, "Oh, hey, you talking about black women, man?" You know, I'm talking about the concoction. I'm talking about the grafted black woman that has been grafted within the past 50 years and that have been given the philosophy of the enemy, wanting to be free. Remember, the devil makes evil fair seeming. Evil. The breaking up of the family is evil. Being promiscuous, a fornicator, an adulterer, evil. Being a homosexual, practicing these debauchery, degenerate acts. This is what brings the fall of civilizations. But like I said, number 1 is the one controlling the whole show, the 10%. And notice anybody that speaks against any of these organizations or any of these particular ideologies, they are labeled as either anti-Semitic, anti-gay, anti-black woman. You can't correct them no more. You can't correct black women no more because they start calling you anti this and you're a hater and all that stuff. They have that same philosophy. As soon as you correct something and say, "Hey, I don't want to be a part of the sexual community. Oh, who you judging and you're a hater. You know what you got against them people." Very slick and plain. That's not how they move. A lot of us as black men don't understand how this is being implemented and how it has been implemented. This is what actually gave these grafted black women their power. I look past all of that. That's how I was able to spot and identify who was who and who's pulling the strings. That's why I said you talking to black women ain't going to stuff. Not only are you dealing with a genetic proclivity to do the things that they're doing, you're dealing with a philosophy or a religion that has been given to them by the enemy himself. And back to what I was saying, it started with number one when they implemented the civil rights movement. The civil rights was the breaking of the structure that allowed them to get past the door. The civil rights movement was the vehicle for them to get in, because the language of the Civil Rights Act is in is ambiguous, unambiguous. It's very confusing. It really doesn't identify who we're talking about. So that's why all these organizations are using the Civil Rights Act and getting more benefits, because it doesn't directly identify. But what it did, it allowed the 10% to move. And when I say move amongst certain parts of government to get certain things implemented, you have to remember the Caucasians that were over here were not only anti-black, they were anti-Indian, they were anti-Asian, they were anti-Jew. So the wise ones of Yakub, they're very skillful. They needed a vehicle that would be implemented that would allow them. So now you can't say, oh, no gays now. You can't say that. You can't say no Jews now. You got to take that sign down. Now what that does is I can get in certain parts of government. I can implement certain things. I get certain funding from my people, certain organizations, certain trust accounts. I can start implementing things now. And all that stuff, all that old time racism, it comes tumbling down. But what you don't understand, the more superior racism was firmly established by the tearing down of the old one. But it did it under the guise of freedom. Black women are free now. The LGBTQC community is free. The 10% is free to roam around and do any and everything that they want. And if you question them, as soon as you question anything about the Jews' involvement in any war, oh, you remember the Holocaust. Oh, back up. You forced to back up. As soon as you say something about the LGBTQC community, oh, he's anti-gay. We don't, they used to burn homosexuals. They used to chase them and beat them up. We need to have an act passed so that doesn't happen. And this guy sounds like that. He sounds like he's the things he's saying is very divisive and very, it's inflammatory. So same thing with black women. You start to check them and say, yo, you out of line, you out of pocket. Oh, he hates black women. His mom wasn't there for him. His dad wasn't there for him. It's the same. You have to identify the same nexus, the link between all three. You have to understand the nexus between all three. And this what brings me to my topic. Do not argue with women. Not only are they illogical, not only are they don't have any respect for you, they're not trying to hear what you have to say. They are just rebelling just to rebel because they have the freedom to do so. They have been given that freedom by the open enemy. You don't understand that. You're wasting your time. And when I say argue, Kevin Samuels was arguing with women. It wasn't necessarily, people think arguing is back and forth, yelling and screaming. No, not necessarily. That's one aspect of arguing. Arguing is you coming on your show every night, having women on there and trying to get them to see the errors of their thinking. That's arguing because they're not going to agree with you. They're going to find any way to say, no, I'm justified in doing this. That's arguing. That's going back and forth. That wears and tears on the liver. And you seen brother Kevin Samuels drinking Red Bulls every night, which is something that actually added to, you know, whatever health health issues that he already had. You don't believe me about this arguing and what it can do? It can turn men, your hair thin, you'll start to go bald. Don't believe me? Look at the podcast Fresh and Fit. That brother on there is going bald because he thinks that by him having the women on there, they're sitting there listening. They're like, you have to understand, women know how to maneuver us. They'll sit up there and listen, but they in their mind, they like, I'm not listening to that. Man, that's some BS. I don't care what they talking about. They're gonna go into some old, it's patriarchal, it's this is patriarchal, and my, you know, the great mother. Y'all arguing this stuff. It's nothing to argue. That stuff don't exist that they talking about the matriarchal stuff. A lot of times when they talk about patriarchy and how man has ruled, they're talking about foreigners and Caucasians, that their rule was implemented and how their viewpoints was towards women, Arabs and stuff like that. The Arabs were the most paganistic group of people damn near ever to exist on earth. They used to burn their women babies. And then when they came in, and here's the thing, there's another thing too that I'll be looking at, brothers. I'll be like, how y'all see what's actually being said here? A lot of women will say, hey, I don't get into religion because it's misogynistic. What they don't understand is that a lot of those religions, the people came into the religion with their pagan practices. The people came in with their pagan practices. They came in with the pagan practices, and eventually they was able to implement it and make it look like this is what the religion teach. So you got brothers on here arguing with women. You got brothers on here arguing with women about patriarchy, and not, you know, as brothers, we don't understand that they're not talking about our patriarchy. They're not talking about matriarchy as it was implemented by us, the indigenous people, the Asiatic black man, the original people who is Allah. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about that. They're talking about the implementation of foreign. When I used to ask a lot of sisters, I said, where'd you get that from? About what patriarchy are you talking about? They were like, what you mean? See, I start asking certain questions that would neutralize that BS. And then when you take the cover off, you say, oh, this is what this is about. This is why that's what I'm saying. You do not argue with women because they are standing on mountains and mounds of falsehood. They are standing on mountains of falsehood. Mountains of falsehood. When you start stripping away at that stuff, you understand that they are just being rebellious. And that's what you have to understand as a black man. She just wants to rebel because you are giving her the time of the day. They get on internet, social media, and say all type of stuff because they know men are going to get under there on the, you know, sister, you know, you shouldn't be good. No, skip that. They can get on, you can put up a post and they get up there and say something and be like, oh, I don't agree with that. I'll delete it. I'll skip right past it, whatever. I ain't even trying to hear what you got to say. You don't deal with logic and reasoning. You dealing with your emotions, which you think is right. You can't show and prove none of that stuff. If I asked you, I done asked plenty of these women. I asked plenty of women. I said, send me some links to the information that you're talking about. Do you think I got it? Nah, I ain't get it. No, I ain't get it. Never. Not one time. Every time I ask, I've been asking for like 7 years. Where'd you get that from? Can you share it with me? Can I see the links? Can I let me see the info? What got you to that point? What information did you read and study that got you to the point where as though you're saying what you're saying? Can you give it to me? Can you show it to me? No, they can't. So why argue with them? So what? She got her OnlyFans. They ain't none of your business. Why you on there giving her the time of the day and giving her attention? Telling her what she shouldn't be doing. Who cares? Let her do. If she don't want to, if she want to have OnlyFans. If she don't want to be married, who cares? Scroll, Pat. Don't get that stuff no attention. And as a ruler, you should know better. I'm talking to the rulers. You know better not to even entertain this BS. They only want to rebel, and I figured it out. I sat there and say, they just want to rebel because we are there. I think it was Maccabi. He said, when they're comfortable, that's when they show their ass. When they feel as though that you are not a threat, that's when they show their ass. That's when they show their ass. Yeah. So that means from what I discovered from my experience and what I've been seeing is that y'all moving together. Y'all were moving together, right? And she'll start showing ass. She'll start be like, you can't tell me what to do. She'll start arguing with you, going back and forth. Why? Because she feels safe. We got a crib together. You know, he can get out. He can get out. Think about this mindset. This is a true mindset that they have. They just want to rebel. I have to keep telling black men this. The whole mindset of this grafted black woman is rebellion. Once you understand that, you will not be confused. I'm at peace right now. I don't have any. I done cracked the code. Nor was I tuning in to Kevin Samuels like that. I tuned in a few times. It started to become entertaining, and I'm like, I don't need to be entertained. And let me speak on this while I'm on the subject of Kevin Samuels. I don't need Kevin Samuels or anybody to tell any woman to lower her standards. I don't need him or anybody else to tell me that. To tell black women that she should lower her standards. If she wants to have those standards, let her have those standards. I don't want nobody that don't want me, and you should feel the same way. Why are you sitting up there arguing with somebody because they don't want you? Let her have those high standards. But my philosophy is this: when she go out there and those standards are not those high standards are not fulfilled, you don't be there as the cleanup man to come be a super saver simp and try to be like, oh man, you know. Nah. Let her keep those standards. If you seen her throughout her 20s getting ran through, don't be the cleanup man. Don't judge her. Don't sit up there and be like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. It don't matter. It don't matter. Why are you commenting on under these women getting up here? I'm looking at this stuff. I'll be like, brother, still falling for this stuff. Because they do it because they know y'all are going to engage. I have a way that can destroy 85% of their mindset, their ideology. In 30 days, that ideology will be destroyed. I can destroy that graftation that they have from the enemy. And I did an experiment when I was on the plantation, when I was at my job. I asked numerous women in the hospital and everything, and they all said the same thing. I said, what would happen if if you came outside or just in general, your everyday travels, no men never said anything to you. And they was like, what? I was like, only the women said anything to you. The men don't look your way. They don't compliment you. They don't say hi. They don't DM you. They don't like none of your pictures. They all said, none of them, only one said, well, I want to give her. All of them said, I wouldn't like that. I said, oh, okay. They said, I wouldn't like that at all. I would really feel some type of way. In 30 days, if men, majority of men, it don't have to be all men, because you know these simps out there, they bottom feeders. Give these women to these simps. Let them think that they're getting a prize. Because the simp will say, oh, this is more women for me. But you can't handle all those women. They're going to give you too much problems. They're going to inflame your liver. You're going to be going bald. Your testosterone is going to be low. You're going to have gynecomastia. You're going to be filled with aromatase because you're going to be going back and forth with these women, arguing with them because they're taking out their pain on you. They're taking out their pain on you. So give gods, rulers, give these women, these grafted women to these simps, these cucks. Give it to them. Huh, here you go. We don't want them. She don't want to get married. Who cares? If she wants to take her, get a career before she has children or family, who cares? If she don't want to be submissive, who cares? This is the secret, gods. This is the secret. This is why I say we don't tell them things because they use it against us. They know that submission is what you want. Submission is a hot topic. It gets viewers. They know that's what men want. So they play around with it. And men get mad. Oh, why you should submit? It's a game, bro. Want me to show you how it's a game? They submitted their job. They submitted their job. They don't get out of line. But when she get home with you, that's when she step out of her place. Because she comfortable. That's the game. This is why you should not argue with women. It's a game. You're being a part of it, and it's robbing you of your vital essence. It's robbing you of your validity. Your liver is, I keep talking about this liver because the liver is one of the most powerful organs we have. It got the power to regenerate itself. But it's also the one that can, when it's in bad shape, we can be in some bad shape too. That's where we hold a lot of anger and resentment at. And you could become angry and resentful arguing with these women, trying to get them to see logic. They don't see logic. She is a cyborg. She cannot be bought, bullied, bribed, negotiated with, or anything. So therefore, you should leave her alone. Leave her alone. Don't get into no conversations with her about polygamy, none of that stuff. Shout out to Noah Law, Salam Allah. He specifically said, we don't want you. You should make it hard for those. You should try to make it hard for them because you don't want them regardless. You don't want them. You don't want them in your harem. You don't want them a part of your kingdom. Don't have, if you want to learn, I tell sisters, you want to learn about polygamy? Here's a few books. I'm not going to sit up there and make no live or anything like that or get into some long conversation telling you about polygamy. No. You got to do that. The secret, one of the things that we can take from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is we have FOI class, and we have MGT class. The two don't co-mingle or intermingle. That's our problem. We want to be in the MGT class. We want to be in the women's class, trying to, yeah, you supposed to be doing it. If they really want to submit and be under our kingdom, they'll do it themselves. They don't need no Kevin Samuels or any one of us to sit up there and lecture them because they know what they don't. You really think that do you really think black women don't know how to be submissive? Answer that question. Say that to yourself. And if you say no, I got a bridge I can sell you. I got a bridge I can sell you. I got a bridge I can sell you. They know what they doing, bro. They know what they doing. And we each generation, we keep going through the same ringer with them. It's over. The game is over. The reign, the goddess reign, the matriarchal reign, the independent, I don't need a man reign. It's over. And it will be over even faster if black men wake up and say, I don't care. I'm not interested in you anyway. You don't want to submit? Cool. If you're dating a woman right now or in a relationship and she is not cooperative, get rid of her right now. There are millions of women out here. When I say millions of women out here, you got to say. You understand? They want to hear what you have to say. They want to be controlled and take their place as women with you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You call them, hey, where you at? Oh, I'm out. Oh no, get in the house. Oh, okay. Yeah. There's plenty of these women out here that want to listen to what you got to say. You wasting your time on these, you know what I'm saying? But that's a genetic thing. A lot of y'all gotta breed that about you. You still arguing with women. Kevin Samuels is dead and gone. And y'all still up here making podcasts arguing with women. You letting them sucker you into, oh, I don't cook, I don't clean. Cool. You ain't gonna be with me. I don't care what you don't do. I'm not, and first of all, I'm not even interested in you. So why would I engage you? I don't care, sis. That's what you should be telling them. Oh, okay, cool. If a black woman is telling you on a date with her and she telling you all the things that she don't do, that is not an invitation for you to try to mold and shape her. That's our problem. And they use that against us. And this is why a lot of brothers be ready to break their neck because we think that we can shape and mold them when they done told us from the door. Oh, I'm not into that. And here you go, well, would you be open to it? Well, I don't know. And you thinking, you looking with stars in your eyes because you think that you can shape and mold this person. You can't. She already told you what she's not going to do. All you have to do is open your eyes and say, and not be controlled by the power you. That's the last thing, and I'm getting out of here. The power you. A lot of y'all are simps. Y'all are under, excuse my language, fucked. Under fucked, as my brother Juan Rich would say. Under fucked. You know what that means? That means you can be easily controlled by the power you. You haven't been around top tier women. You haven't sexed top tier women. You haven't traveled or experienced top tier women. You haven't been, not even top tier women, just women in general. When you get amongst an attractive woman, you lose all state of consciousness. You start to be foaming at the mouth. You start stuttering. You start bojangles, dancing. You start doing all type of silly stuff, and she's looking like, damn, what's this dude never been around a woman before? That's you're underfucked. And what that means is also is that your choice of women is basically a bottom feeder type of mentality when you are trying to get women. You will take whatever's thrown at you. If you are in the 3 class and only you have never messed with anything above a 3, then when a 4 comes, it's gonna be like it's giving meal. You're gonna be like, damn, man, because you've never been around anything higher than a 3. You haven't been amongst women that are top tier or anything above what you have been dealing with. So therefore, you can be easily manipulated with the power you. And women know that. Women have been able to master men based off of that. There's a meme on Facebook. At the top of it, it says, yo, bro, why you let her talk to you like that? And at the bottom of the meme, it has a woman with saliva all on her hands, basically saying this dysfunction that she need, she gives to me and is worth it because this is what she do. She deep throat, she you know what I'm saying, and you going off of that. That's why a lot of these women are confident because Kevin Samuels is dead. They think that things are going to go back to what it was. You ain't really want to check women anyway. You was scared to. That's why Kevin Samuels got on and got the shine that he got, because a lot of men were scared to say the things that needed to be said. You need to say the things that need to be said and keep it moving. This ain't a discussion. We are not discussing. We don't care what they think. Like I said, back to what I said. They don't want to get married. We don't care. She don't want to live in the same house with you. Good. We don't care. She don't want to submit. Good. We don't care. We don't care. We don't. You got OnlyFans, sis? We don't care. You're not interested in polygamy? We don't care. We don't care. Thank you for telling me. Scratch her off the list, bro. Don't even pump and dump her. How hard is it to leave these women alone? They said they want to be left alone. Leave them alone. I was in the gym earlier. This woman tried so hard to get my attention. I wasn't paying her no mind. I did that on purpose. I can feel her. I can feel her eyes like burning my face. She was trying, and she was good looking. I seen her one time. It was like, okay. But she was back there where I was doing the squats and stuff, and she was trying to get my attention. And I did what I did and walked right up out of there. I'll make you, if it was over 1 million of me that thought like me, this thing will be over. Leave them alone. They work so hard to be free and be away from us. They work hard. They work hard for their freedom. Their freedom is not a freedom that you think it is. It's a freedom to get away from your androgynous man. They want somebody as a man. He's street. He's masculine. He's intelligent. But he submits to her will. That's what they want. They want a homosexual friend. They want a man that they can be friends with, that they can get undressed from, and he not making any. You understand? That's what they want. That's it. That's all they want. And if that's what they want, give it to them. There's plenty of simps out there that do exactly what they say. You just don't be one of them. Like I said, don't be the simp that bees there when they're done their sexcapades. Period. Don't be there. Argue with them, and don't be there when they're their hopes and dreams of being with a baller or somebody that's going to financially take care of them. Okay, stop this madness. Stop this. Come on, stop arguing with these chicks. It's nothing to argue about. We have the information that we need. The game is over. The game is over. There's no new information that we need to know about these present black women that we're dealing with. None. We know it's a game because they're the only ones following this game. The Latinos and the Asians don't follow this game. They don't follow it at all. They'll go out there and parade with them and like, yeah, women's rights. And go right home and cook their man a meal and rub his feet and submit to him. Black women to come home and try to muscle with dudes. Yeah, she'll come home and try to muscle and really implement that what she learned out there in the street. Yeah, she'll do that. So, with all that being said, I like to wind this up and say, do not argue with women. You can be stressed out arguing with women online, in person, period. There's no, like I said, the game is over. There's no need to argue with no women. No need to argue with them. You should be focused on your purpose. You should be focused on another thing. The quick tip about the universe: if you keep focusing on what you don't want, you're going to keep getting that what you don't want because you're putting all the force and power into that. Focus on what you want. Like I said, there's plenty of women out there that want you, that want to be with you. Not just one, a few of them that's down with polygamy. That's so cool. That ain't all on that competition trying to rub shoulders with you and trying to show you. They not on that. Leave the ones that's into that alone and keep it moving. Like I said, I can end this thing in 30 days because all you gotta do is stop speaking to them. Don't comment on it. When they walk by, look the other way. Look the other way. That's what they wanted, right? Give it to them. You know, I don't, you know, they coming up to me in the bar and all that. Leave them alone. That's what they're saying. Leave them alone. And as Brother Maccabi said, they're free. So if they're free, you don't pursue them. Why? Because she has many men pursuing her. If she's free and she chooses to pursue you, then that gives you an indication that she really wants you. Because she's free to choose, but she's choosing to pursue you. That's how you play this game. That's how you play this game of rulership. Don't argue with them. Don't pursue them. Give them one courtesy call. After that, they don't call back. Keep it moving. Don't try to reignite anything. Leave it where it's at. Leave it where it's at. So, what I've been on here for an hour. Wow, time moved quick. That's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say. And you know, don't. The rain is over. We good. We as black men, we know we wasn't wrong, and we know who's behind everything. If you don't know who's behind this, rewind this back and go back and go where I broke that down about who's behind what, and you'll see the game. You'll see the game, and you'll see that it's been played on us, but we are woke now, and we choosing not to play. Don't argue with them. Don't be the simp and using anybody to tell a woman that she should lower her standards for us. If she don't want us, we don't want her. Plain and simple. No matter how good she looks. We have enough podcasts that talked about women. We don't need no more. I understand people getting their bread and butter off of that, but that is not a job or profession that we should be interested in engaging in. We won't have anything to say. Okay. That's our response to these women when they want to argue and debate. Okay. Okay. That's it. You're a fraud. The game is over. The jig is up. Black women, these grafted black women have been, and like I told when I asked the question, do you really think black women don't know how to submit? A lot of y'all think that they really don't, that they need a class. To dispel that myth, I asked a sister, I said, she said that we do need to learn how to submit. I said, okay. I said, have you ever done something to make your significant other mad? She said, yeah, all the time. I said, exactly. If you know how to make them mad, then you know how to do the opposite. You know how to submit. You just don't want to. And that's what I said. The key word with these grafted black women is rebellion. They know what to do, but they just don't want to. And they know you're going to be there to put up with that BS. Instead of packing their stuff and kicking them out and getting rid of them and charging them to the game. That's it. A shout out to Anora Law, Maccabi, Brother Maccabi, all the gods, Salam Law, peace to the gods, Trey Parker, all of Juan Rich, Darren, the Darren, these guys. I learned a lot from these guys, man. These, Anora Law, these guys they be breaking it down. They be breaking it down. Like they go in. They go in, they don't pull no punches either. I forget the other brother name that wrote the book on polygamy. But I'm gonna touch on that briefly in another segment later on down the line, because I don't really like I said, I don't have anything to say. Ain't nothing to say. I thought we knew what the mission was, but I see we don't. So that's why I had to get on here and give a quick reminder. Sorry for taking up much of your time. I don't want to be long-winded, but I have to show the nuances and details of what's being implemented from what I have seen and where I have studied. And I like to bring that to people's attention because I don't see them speaking on it or putting it together. Because if they did put it together, they would be at peace and they wouldn't be arguing with no woman. They will be on a job, on their purpose. They will be on a purpose, plain and simple. They will be on a purpose. So with that said, I'd like to say peace and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm not doing this for likes or clicks, or I'm not even trying to be famous. Everybody is. I just want to drop a quick bomb and move. That's it. That's it. Don't go back to sleep, as Kevin was saying. You take the information, look at it, and move accordingly. There's nothing to argue about. Successfully bow out and give these grafted black women what they want, their freedom. Don't shame them. Don't try to, you shouldn't be doing. Don't do that. You got it, sister. You're absolutely right. You absolutely right. You have it. You right. I wouldn't marry you though. That's it. I'm not interested in you, so I don't care what you do. You want to shake your ass, you want to go out there and have 3 or 4 partners, sexual partners, and get it and get imprinted with the male microchimerism and be my guest. I don't care. You're not offending me. That's why I say they do that, because yeah, they know y'all gonna get offended. I support you, sister, but I'm not gonna have sex with you. I'm not gonna marry you. You're not gonna be a part of my harem. You're not gonna be a concubine of mine. I'm cool. So, peace to the gods. And let me know what y'all think. Maybe we can sit down and have a discussion. Just us. Just go over a quick discussion and on our purpose and what it is we need to do. Enough talk about what women are doing and what they're not doing. That's for them. Let them have it. So, peace to the gods. Salam Allah. It's your brother Farika Law in the struggle for freedom, justice, and equality. Peace.